For on a night like this, we are capoed at fret 1 and we're playing chord shapes in the key of E. We start off with the acoustic guitar, the thing we hear first on the record. Actually, it's buried very deep in the mix, but it's the first thing that you hear on the record quietly, coming in with this rapid double time strumming pattern. Like that before he comes in with the vocal. If you want to get that part in there, on an E chord, it's down, up, down, up, down, down. Same on an A chord. And then one down strum of E and stop the chord with your right hand. 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and 1. On a night like... He comes in with the vocal. But it's fast. Actually, thinking about it, I actually tend to go down, up, down, up, down, up. But whichever works better for you will be fine. At that kind of speed. Then in with the vocal, as we said, and the song then continues on an E chord in this very interesting rhythm that he has on this song. It's a sort of cross between Cajun and ska. And the best way to replicate that on our one acoustic guitar is to set up this pattern. Here it is on an E chord. What we're doing here is we're going bass of the chord. On an E chord, that will be the 6th string. Try and be quite precise. Dylan actually, of course, is just strumming this song all the way through, but we're trying to get a sense of an accompaniment with one guitar that gets the feel of the record across. So if you can do it, do this. Bass at 6th string, up, down, but have the karate chop part, the fleshy part of your right hand hit the strings ahead of the pick. The pick will just hit the middle of the strings, and you get this muted, dead sound, because this part of the hand is resting on the strings just before the pick hits. Notice the tilt of the wrist to get that. Bass, up, there the wrist tilts, and down we go at that angle, instead of this angle which we would use for strumming. It's that angle. Bass, up, mute, up. Two of that pattern is a bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The mute is very important for getting the ska-like sense of the rhythm that's in here. So we have 2 bars of E. On a night like this, I'm so glad that you... Now on the record the band goes to B, but actually it's much more effective on a solo acoustic guitar accompaniment to go to B7 at this point, so that we can get this pattern set up. That alternating bass that we can get out of a B7 really works well on this song. So 5, up, slap, up, 6 now at the 2nd fret. So notice this finger moving from 5th to 6th strings, both at the 2nd fret. 5, up, slap, up, 6, up, slap, up, repeat. And again at bar 7 of the tab, and at bar 8. So it's staying on B7 for 4 bars. You came around, hold on to me so tight, and heat up some. Now it goes back to E, where it stays for 3 bars. Coffee ground, we got so much to. Now on Talk About, it's really effectively a 4th bar of E. But if we can make the bass move here, as the bass guitarist does on the record, we really get an effective element into our accompaniment. A couple of ways you can do this. The way I'm doing it is I'm holding an E chord, continuing to hold an E chord, letting the thumb drop down the neck so the chord shape comes forward, and that gives me enough space to clear the open strings and still reach the little finger out to the G sharp on the 6th string at the 4th fret from the capo. Now I can hit that bass note and still go up, slap up on an E chord. E over G sharp. Now that is a big stretch. If your hand isn't going to do that for you, make this shape. 6th string, 4th fret from the capo, 4th and 3rd strings at the 4th fret from the capo. I'm sorry, not the 4th string. Leave the 4th string where it is, leave it open, and make sure that your middle finger here is muting the 5th string. What you've got here is E7 over G sharp, and it's not ideal, but it's good if you want to get that G sharp bass in. It's okay, it will work. So you can go from E to that chord shape. Just make sure you mute the 5th string. Slightly better is the big stretch. And if neither of those work for you, just continue to play an E chord there. At bar 13 we go to A, 5 up, slap up, 5 up, slap up. And then to prove to us that he does indeed know his harmony, Bob Dylan puts in an F sharp minor 7 flat 5, a jazz chord. And we can make that shape by playing an A minor shape and getting the thumb on the 6th string 2nd fret. Or of course you could do middle finger and then have the ring and little fingers take the rest of the A minor shape. But if you can get your thumb hooking over, because this shape feels more natural, that's going to feel easier to get into that shape. Here we're going to go 6 up, slap up, 6 up, slap up. There's that lovely jazzy sound. And back to E, where you can just play a normal bar if you want to. This is bar 15 of the tab. Quite effective is to go what's written on the tab. 6 up, slap up, 6 up, and then 5th string, open, 1st fret. It's a leading note that's taking us to the 5th string 2nd fret B7 that arrives at bar 16, where we play the same pattern as before on B7. The rhythm of that previous E bar, by the way, was still the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 is B7. And now at bar 17 and 18, 2 bars of E. You can play them the same way as before if you like, but there is a cool little lick, which is effectively what Robbie Robertson is playing here. That's a really nice way to end the verse, a little rockabilly lick. It's the 6th string, a quick up flick of the 1st string, and if you get a bit of the 2nd, that's good. Then get these 2 fingers, or any 2 fingers you prefer, onto the 2nd string at the 3rd fret and the 2nd fret. Play it at the 3rd fret, pull off to the 2nd fret, pull off to open. Then you want the 3rd string open, hammer to 1st fret, and then form the rest of the E chord and hit the low end of the chord, 6 and 5 or thereabouts, and stop that chord. 1, 2, 3 E and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Here again you're singing On a Night Like This and about to go into verse 2. Let me bring that verse from where we left it, which was somewhere around coffee grounds. Heat up some coffee grounds. We got so much to talk about, much to reminisce. The show is right on a night like this. On a night like this. And off you go for verse 2. Nice with that little lick in there, isn't it? Now, verse 2 is the same as verse 1. It's followed by verse 3. On a night like this, I can't get any sleep. That's the same as verse 1. But after the lick and the stopped E chord, we go into the bridge after verse 3. It's page 2 of your tab. It's very straightforward. 2 bars of A, where we're going to go 5 up, slap up, 6 up, slap up, just for a little variety. 2 times. And then E, 6 up, slap up, 5 up, slap up. It's optional to alternate the bass here. You can just play the same bass as before, but if you want a bit of variety, it helps. 2 bars of F sharp, which is a bar of the 2nd fret and the E shape in front of the bar. You can either alternate the bass 6 and 5, 6 up, slap up, 5 up, slap up, repeat, or just keep it on 6, which is what the tab says. Both work fine, and then we get this descending sequence. You want to play a B7 chord, strum the whole thing and stop it, and then either just leave that blank for 2 bars while you sing Please Don't Elbow Me, and into the final verse, Let the Four Winds Blow. Please don't elbow me, let the four winds blow. You know, like that. Or, hinted on the record is this descending line. After the stopped B7 chord, make your power chord shape, 6th string at the 5th fret and the 4th and 5th strings at the 7th fret. Just hit the low end of that chord. It can ring or you can stop it, it doesn't matter. Come down 1 fret. Come down 2 frets and have the ring finger come away. So this finger now should be covering the 2nd fret of the 6th and 5th strings. Is that making sense? 6th and 5th strings at the 2nd fret, 4th string at the 4th fret on that final chord. You get something that sounds like this. There is plenty of room for all, so please don't elbow that as I made that final chord where the index finger lies down, the pad of the index finger lies down, I actually changed this finger to the ring finger. Felt more comfortable to me, but the little finger is already there. If you prefer that, that's fine. Let's play that bridge all the way through. Put your body next to mine, keep me company. There is plenty of room for all, so please don't elbow me when the four winds blow. Into verse 4, which you play the same way. He finishes the song by fading out. After verse 4, he plays a harmonica solo, and it's the same chords as the verse, so you can put that in optionally if you like. For me, he misses a trick. Dare I say that about Bob Dylan? There is a great way to end this song, which he fades out on the record and loses something here, I think, because that's the fact that we stop that E chord at the end of every verse makes for a great ending. Let's take it from the E at bar 15, E to B7, E with the lick, and then the stopped chord. You'll see it's a really effective way to end. There. What's not to like about that? That's how to end this song for me anyway. And that's all you need. That's On a Night Like This.